Welcome back to my Pokémon Platinum Hardcore Nuzlocke walkthrough. In the last episode, more bombs went off as we looked to head towards the region's 3 lakefronts to deal with Team Galactic. We then made it through Mount Coronet, enjoyed the beautiful atmosphere of Sinnoh's snowy routes, picked up some excellent encounters along the way, and we tore Candace to pieces, awarding our efforts with our 7th gym badge. Get ready, this is the Team Galactic episode. Road from Gen 4 Casual to Platinum Master continues. Let's do this. Let's go through a quick team update before we head out. You'll notice Pelipper is still here, and honestly, she might just be here to stay after all. I really like the water flying combo for the way our team is currently constructed, and she has performed very well for us in this run. I have also added Sneasel and Rhyhorn to the team. I know, right? A few episodes ago I went off on how disappointing Rhydon is as a Pokemon, especially considering we cannot use Rhyperior in this run. However, when I looked at how our core is currently constructed, I realized that we needed a few things to balance the team out. One, I needed something to deal with Psychic types, because we are very weak in that department, so that's where Sneasel came in. I really didn't have any other Dark types worth using. And two, I needed a Pokemon that could deal with Flying and Electric types while also having great physical bulk, because our team was lacking in the defense stats specifically. Well, what better way to address all of those needs than with a rock ground type with a fat physical booty? Rhydon just happens to fit that description perfectly. Our team will shift around again for the league, I'm sure, but for now I like the balance that we've made here. Now, before we get into all the Team Galactic shenanigans, there are several optional items we can now pick up with the HM for Rock Climb. It's time for another tour of the Sinnoh region. First stop is Route 208 near Hearthome City, where we can pick up a hidden star piece. Although, I will not be picking this up because I forgot to bring a Rock Smash user and I'm too lazy. Next up, we can head over to Veilstone to finally grab the item in the middle of town that has been taunting us for 3 gym badges now, and it's a full incense. The full incense will ensure that the Pokemon that holds it will always move last. I'm sure this does have some interesting uses, but I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. Anyone know how this can be useful? Now we're heading over to Route 213, just east of Pastoria and the Valor Lakefront. Really the Hotel Grand Lake mostly. On Route 213 you can pick up the TM for Roar, which who really cares, I guess? And then, in and around the Hotel Grand Lake, we can find various vitamins lying around, as well as a Sunstone, which I think might be useless before the Pokemon League actually, because I don't know what this can be used on, and the TM for Dream Eater. Next, we have the notorious Foggy area on the northern end of Route 210, where we can pick up another shiny stone. This one is actually useful because it could be used to obtain Togekiss if we want it, and a Zinc over here on the ledge. Moving to the eastern side of Route 211, which is just west of Celestic Town, we can pick up the TM for Psychic. But again, too lazy to grab a Rock Smash user? God, I hate HMs in this game, so we'll leave it here for now. I might come back for it later. And finally, we end our trip on Route 216, where we can grab a Mental Herb, HP up, and the TM for Ice Beam. Thankfully, no Rock Smash needed for this one. The tour is over. Now let's get down to business. With Rock Climb, we can now access Lake Acuity, and right before we head in, we can pick up the Reaper Cloth, which is used to evolve Dusclops into Dusknoir when traded. This won't be of any use for us in this playthrough. Heading into the lake area, we witness a little boy become a man, and then we head across the lake to grab the TM for Blizzard. And this just occurred to me. I believe that the lakefront and the lake itself are technically 2 separate locations, which means we can actually guarantee that snow run we've been hunting for this whole time. There's just one problem. It's male, which means it will not evolve into Frostlass. Damn it. I'm not interested in using Glalie this run, especially with the other great Ice-type options we already have at our disposal. We can now finally begin our Team Galactic episode. I fly over to Veilstone City to approach the Galactic HQ building, speak to a grunt whom we've beat up before, Looker shows up and does almost nothing as usual, and we enter the Team Galactic Warehouse now to begin our primary mission. Upon entering the warehouse, we can grab a Dusk Stone. Again, another stone that may not actually be applicable before the post-game. I'm not positive though, so please let me know if I'm forgetting about somebody. We can grab a Zinc over in this room, taking on grunts along the way, none of which are actually any threat as usual. We've also got the TM for Snatch. Now, does anyone know if this move actually steals the opponent's status move, or does it just copy it? I think this could potentially see some use against opponents that love to use a particular type of setup. This move would have been sick in Emerald. We can also pick up a Dubious Disc, which is used to evolve your Porygon 2 into Porygon Z. And now back over in the warehouse, we've got the TM for Sludge Bomb. Very powerful in the hands of a special poison type user, like our Roserade. After grabbing the Galactic key nearby, we leave the warehouse and head over to the Galactic HQ main building. And we just walk right in without anyone batting an eye. Seriously, I just breached through your primary entrance without an alarm or anything. Even this guy is just like, yeah, whatever man, do your thing. Here we can pick up some miscellaneous items like a max revive for some extra cash and a green shard. Nothing left to investigate here, so we meet up with Looker again and listen to the greatest speech ever given by man. Alright, not really, but I will say if Cyrus was a real person, I would be pretty terrified, honestly. After the room clears out, we can start heading up to the main suite. But before we do, it's worth mentioning that you can use these beds to heal up before moving on, so save your items. And I suggest you do so, as Cyrus will be waiting for you on the other side. I was feeling a bit overconfident again about this one, as he still hasn't reached his maximum potential yet. So no team review. Let's see how this goes. I led with Gallade against Sneasel, and after taking the incoming Screech, Gallade lands a nasty Drain Punch. With Crobat in now, I decided to stay in as I know a Psycho Cut will undoubtedly take it out. Air Cutter wasn't super risky as our special bulk is quite good and Crobat's special attack isn't so much. However, we got hit with the Stab Poison Fang instead, and we took way more damage than I was anticipating, even with the Screech from Sneasel. So a crit definitely would have ruined us there. I've dodged quite a few bullets in this run so far, not sure how much longer that luck will last though. At least we survive and Crobat goes down. And now we've got Cyrus's most problematic Pokemon, at least the one we've had the most issues with so far. My first switch was going into Pelipper to see how much she could take and how much an Ice Beam would do. Drill Peck hits us really hard, like hard enough for a crit to take us out on the next turn if we get unlucky. I wasn't sure if we would be faster, so I opted to take the chance on the crit rather than go for the roost. And as it turns out, we are faster, and while the Ice Beam does deal a lot of damage, Honchkrow is left with plenty of health after the Citrus Berry. The incoming Drill Peck nearly takes us out. I think I'm going to go for another switch here to see if I can avoid any more crits. Rhyhorn comes in now, and I am once again on the brink of punishment because I refuse to level it up and evolve it before coming in here. Feint Attack hits really hard despite our great physical bulk, and we are forced to avoid another crit. We are able to avoid death once again. Let's see what this Rock Blast can do. Just barely not enough to take him down. I switch into Sneasel and Cyrus goes for the full restore, resetting all of our progress. I know Ice Punch is going to hit really hard here, but will it actually be enough? Because if it's not, our streak of good luck might just run out now. Okay, Sneasel coming in clutch with the crit, and the drama can finally subside. Cyrus is down again, and he awards us with a Master Ball. But it's not enough for us as the trainer to receive a gift like that. Our Sneasel deserves something as well for pulling that one out for us. How about this hidden Razor Claw in the room right next door? let's let our new friend break in his new power. And I can't think of a better person to release Weavile on than Saturn. Saturn is sporting the same lineup we had back in Lake Valor, so similar strategies will apply. His Golbat gets absolutely annihilated by a completely unnecessary Never Melt Ice boosted Ice Punch. But with Toxicroak now in though, I'd rather not take any risks with our new weapon, so I switched into Gallade to take the incoming Brick Break. And then quickly retaliated with a 4x super effective Psycho Cut. Bronzor is out last, not sure why it hasn't become a Bronzong yet, and now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen a Team Galactic member with a Bronzong. They're always just Bronzors at really high levels. In any case, it actually takes a few different team members to bring this one home due to the annoying Confuse Ray. Eventually, we settle on Infernape to burn the little floating dinner plate into dust. After freeing the legendary trio from their galactic prison, we can now head out and make our preparations for the climax of the story. It's time to scale Mount Coronet one last time. You'll notice two main differences with the team. One, we leveled up and evolved our Rhyhorn, finally, and we were able to pick up Hammer Arm as a move as well. And two, we've replaced Roserade with Bronzong again, as Roserade won't be helpful against the next Cyrus fight. We fly over to Orberg City to begin our trek into the mountain. Be sure to bring Pokemon that can learn Rock Smash, Rock Climb, Surf, and Strength, all of which are required to get through the massive sections of the mountain. We're back in the first area of Mount Coronet, where I believe we had ran into Cyrus for the second time. Here you can grab another Dawnstone in the southeastern portion of the cave, and we can grab a Protein as well on the northern side of this ledge. Heading into the next area, we've got even more items. Everything from shards to miscellaneous items like an escape rope, and then a max revive for some extra money. And we can pick up the TM for Rock Slide as well, which is a fantastic rock type coverage option that a bunch of Pokemon can learn. Before moving on to the next area, we get stopped by Looker again, who basically hands the reins over to us now to deal with Team Galactic. Although, that's kind of always been our thing, but whatever. He gives us the Black Flute, which doesn't really do that much at all. I think it just helps reduce the amount of wild Pokemon you run into, which, I mean, just use repels. They're really cheap. Moving on to the next section, if you take the stairs directly on the other side, you can grab a hidden star piece within the rock. And once you start heading north and up the stairs, you'll finally start running into some Galactic Grunts. Some of them have Golbats now at least, but still not too much of a threat. And once a few of them have been taken care of, we reach Mount Coronet's summit, where the music really starts to intensify. At this point in the dungeon, yes, I'm calling Mount Coronet a dungeon, there are still plenty of items to collect, but most of them will be hidden from this point on, so I would highly recommend you whip out that Item Finder app and tap it a few times as you move through the mountaintop. We've got a blue shard hidden behind this smashable rock, various healing herbs, a star piece hidden within this rock, and several other miscellaneous items. Moving into the small cave where you'll find a waterfall, you could pick up yet another shard here, as well as a stardust for some extra money. We head back outside and through the grass over to the cave on the other side. Here we've got more Galactic Grunts, and wouldn't you know it, some more items. You can pick up another Sunstone here, as well as an Ultra Ball. It's time to cover the upper summit, where we can find another Moonstone if that's needed, and we have some more adjacent caves to explore as well. Along the ditch where you can find the two rock climbing spots, there's another cave with a few more Galactic Grunts to defeat. There are some more shards as the common theme continues, and that's pretty much it for this section. You have a Grunt blocking an additional cave entrance in here, which you won't be able to access until later. Heading back out and around the northern end of the mountain, we find another cave entrance on the left side, with more Galactic Goons to push around. There is a hidden rare candy in the southeast corner here, so be sure to grab that. I think we have finally reached the top. Spear Pillar awaits us. We get treated to a quick double battle against some grunts, which is nothing different or special, and we deal with them pretty easily. And now, we've got our boss fight for the episode. A double battle against Team Galactic's Mars and Jupiter. As I mentioned in the previous episode with Mars, both of their teams are a lot less scary now than they were when you first encountered them. However, as it turns out, when you put them together in a double battle setting, it's a lot more challenging than you think it is. Remember, in double battles your Pokemon individually become a lot more vulnerable, because you never know when both of the opposing Pokemon will jump on a single target. While this fight still isn't as difficult as some of the other fights around this section of the game, it should still be treated as a boss fight regardless. Barry and I open up with Infernape and Munchlax. Munchlax isn't too bad honestly. Its body slam hits really hard and it's pretty freaking good at taking hits. I go for the flamethrower right away on Jupiter's Bronzor. The overall goal here is going to be to take out all of Jupiter's Pokemon first, and as quickly as possible. This way, we can create a 1v2 against Mars for the remainder of the fight. The first Bronzor goes down easily, and now the first Golbat comes in. I switch into Rhydon to take the incoming Air Cutter. Except, that's not actually what came out, and instead we get confused by the other Bronzor. After Munchlax deals a nice chunk with Body Slam, I forgot about this. We survived, but we're still confused and Bronzor still hasn't moved yet. Rhydon breaks through the confusion. Can the Rock Blast finish this Golbat off? We get the 3-hit and Golbat goes down. But now the extra sensory comes out from Bronzor. And Rhydon holds. Wow, that could have been really bad. I gotta be more careful for the rest of the fight. I switched into Bronzong next so I could set up an 8-turn Reflect thanks to Light Clay. Unfortunately, this was yet another situation in which we could have died to a crit, but we are not punished yet again. Next up is Gallade to take the incoming Flamethrower. And then I retaliate with a brutal Earthquake on the next turn. Taking out Jupiter's final Pokemon as a result. I tried to keep Gallade in to finish off Mars's Bronzor, but we hit ourselves in confusion and dealt way too much damage to ourselves. I probably should have used Person Berries in this fight, in hindsight. I'll have to remember that for future runs. With Infernape in now, I go for a couple of Flamethrowers to finally take out this Bronzor. The second Golbat is in, so we switch into Weavile to go for a quick Ice Punch. And last but not least, we've got this Purugly to deal with, and Pelipper is perfect for the job. With a big physical defense stat and Roost to heal us back up if we need it, it'll only be a matter of time. Purugly did rip through a few of Barry's Pokemon actually, which was a little terrifying to see. But in the end, Mars and Jupiter go down for the last time. And with that, this episode is now over. In the next one, we've got the Distortion World, Cyrus, and Giratina to deal with. In the meantime, as usual, please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe for more content like this, and enjoy one of the coolest cinematics in the Pokemon series. That's it for me. I'll see you next time.